who doesn't want to miss a Bellotti knot too? Well, folks, getting back to the yammer part of everything, that means that a lot of people are updating their, look at that Bellotti, folks, that's nice, they're updating the GPS systems with phone number systems for deliveries that are supposed to be going exactly to that spot. Well, that's exactly where we're going, folks. And I think if I did my math correctly, we're going to need 11 of these. So let's get back to cutting here. Appreciate you all stopping by and having fun. I know I checked my pencil and my knife on the unboxing. See, folks, just like that, you have a mess, and that's why you leave early at the end of the day. I mean, or you stop early because you got a mess to clean up. So we're going to need 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's not 11. Of course it's not 11. We got a nice healthy candidate right here. Well, that's favorite right there, folks. That's gonna work. So let's get our 45 quick. Not quick. You don't do anything quick on a saw. Alright. Here's our template. Template. Right, listen to that. Crock-a-doodle-doos. Just like that. Can we put 4 in there? No, that's, if we did that, folks, you would know what just happened. Something not good. Wow, I don't know what to say. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. At least the commentary. Just to show you other people who have busy days. Just like that. Busy day people. Undoubtedly. Whoops. I know the whole point is to I just did that again. Did that wrong again. That'll be okay. We'll get to the spacing and how to do the spacing. That's the big one. You just go through the planer me. That's what I'm doing, folks. If you're wondering what I'm fumbling around with, why I'm fumbling around so much, I'm flipping it to the nicer part of the work. That is, oh, tell me I didn't just cut that piece. No. Alright, let's do a quick layout here. And then you know, we are going to use the old mathematical stuff in helper computer stuff, so I'm really hoping you guys aren't wanting me to go through the longhand stuff. But got me a little cheat sheet here. So what I figured out that you are going to need is, we have that total space, which is 52 and a quarter in between these rails right here. Ding, 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 52 and a quarter. So what you do, because the rail thickness is one of these. They're roughly an inch and a half. They're not all the same, so I'm going to show you how to fudge it at the end. And we have to convert all these to a number, reverse these fractions, because they're, you know, when you reverse a fraction, you have to multiply it. So 4 times 52 is 208, plus 1 is 209. Say an inch and a half, we got to reverse that to a fraction. So that's 2 and 1 is 3 over 2. And then if that are, say, we know it's a 4-inch space, and we know we should at least go less in case something funny happens. The code-wise, 4-inch in between what they say. So let's call it 3.5. I hope you guys are getting this and not my stupid. I'm missing it. That's 7 over 2. Getting back to that. So you add all these up, and we come up with 5 inches. So what does that mean when you say 5 inches? Okay. So we've done all that math, and that's what we've come up with. But in order to do all that right, I don't have my computer phone on me, but it turns out that this is how cool the Google Space is. So what you can type into your phone is what you're going to solve. You're going to determine the number of rails and valves, their exact spacing to fit within a given width, maintaining the specific gap in between them than what's in a given problem. So your total space is 52 and a quarter. Its balusters are 1.5 inches. The desired gap between rails is 3.5. But wait a second. We have rails that are odd and 1.5 inches, 5/8 inches, 7/8. So we're going to need to take a center, which is really cool. So rail width 1.5 inches, desired gap 3.5, and that total is 5 inches. What I just wrote down in the paper. Then we can go down to our, that was on the piece of paper. This is how you come up, divide the total spaces. That's why we came up with 11, because it's not going to come out exact. So there's going to be the remaining space after you've calculated the number of spindles, after you've added it up, is what you have to work with, and that's what you have to divide. And you guys can read all through this. When you do it, it goes into detail, which is pretty cool. But it comes down to an adjusted gap size of 3.575 inches. So it's really 3.6 inches or 6 5/8 roughly around. No, 3 5/8 gap is what it's going to end up being with this number of them. So give or take our little tape measure. Let's turn this off. Everything is hot today, folks. Give or take our little tape measure. We'll come over to here and we'll just say 3. And I'm getting back to where I left you guys off with the, it's not the same thickness. So 3 5 and 3 5 6. We're going to be right around in 3 5/8 area. So about 1.5 inch spindle. So half of that is 3/4 of an inch. So what you can take is add 3/4 of an inch to that. So that is roughly 4 and 5/16. So if you want to be kind of, around the ballpark, because that's what you're going to have to see, and that's what you'll see when we get to the end here, folks. Bear with me. I know you're like, cut the yammer, but that's where we're going to end up being right there, a little over 4 1/4 in between. No, I'm sorry, folks. We're going to add that to it. So we're going to go 3 and roughly 5/8 plus 3/4, because we're going to jump to the center of the baluster. I said that all goofy, folks. Scratch it. So this is where we're going to end up, folks, in the center of here, around 4 5/8 per spindle. So let's just throw them out there real quick and try it and say, wow. So, or if you have a little block of wood that's your 4-inch space already, and you don't have the time to go over and get your pencil, I'll show you an easier way even. So you can make your little go-to goof, or whatever you want to call it, go-to goof little marker. So what did that turn out to be? 3 5/8. Oh, we're not going to be able to use that, are we? Well, that's a little over 1/4 inch. I guess if you wanted to use that, a little, if you wanted to say see 1/4 inch on the pencil line, if you want to use that as a marker, let's call it see 1/4 inch on the pencil line. See 1/4 inch on the pencil line. Okay, we'll see 1/4 inch on the pencil line, folks. Some of you know what that means. So let's throw our little cheater block up there. Alright, and then from the back side of this one, 4 inch on the cheater line, 1/4 inch on the cheater line, the cheater line, the cheater line, the cheater line. Folks, I'm not going to put a pencil line on there at every time, but you guys get the idea. I know you guys get the idea, so, and you're going to actually have to do this twice if you want to, because what I should just do is a pencil line, but instead of having a bunch of pencil lines all over the place like you're looking at right there underneath the block, that's just to find the center. That's what you'll keep having, pencil lines. You'll keep having black marker lines all over your conduits. That's the other thing, folks. Would you guys bending conduits stop marking your bend conduit with black little circle rings? It's kind of goof, Just get it right, would you? I know it ain't my job. But, alright, folks, see that? We got a little give a 1/4 at the center line, give a 1/4 at the center line, give a 1/4 at the center line, and look, oh, absolutely horrible, isn't it? Didn't work at all. Okay, so, look what happened, folks. Everyone is totally different. So let's go right back the other way and use the tape measure and just do the in-between. See what the in-between is. And do it again. And do it again. And do it again. Some of you are going to get this and skip all over, and I'm okay with that. And do it again. And do it again. But once you get your ballpark, then mark it. Put a little line. I'm doing it wrong, folks, just to show you guys how you get it narrowed down, because that's what it will do for you, and then you're just going to be like, what the brat? So you can see it did it exactly the same again. Oh, don't lose it. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is going to do it. No. Okay, 3/8. So our original mark was 3.5. So let's go back to 3.5 and see if we're, because our pieces of wood are so big and off. Let's see if that gets us where we need to be. Just by doing that. Some of you are going to say, would you chuck that piece of wood out of there? Let's try that. What even happened there, folks?